Tonight, former President Mahama begs labor unions for a honeymoon if he wins 2024 elections. As he says, the economy is broke and he will need space and time to set things right.
And I'll plead with the teachers' unions, NATS and NAGRAT and UTAG and TEWU and all of them. I know all of you are clamoring for allowances, increase in your allowances and so on and so forth. Let me caution you. This country is broke, and so we would beg you that when we come into office, give us a bit of a honeymoon.
But will Labour grant him the time and space he needs? We'll hear from them.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
And Top Story is always brought to you by Vodafone. It is early January, but already the campaign for the December polls is taking off in earnest, with the NDC flag bearer already talking about the economic conditions he is expecting to confront if he wins the general elections on December 7th. Now, John Mahama has today been begging labor unions to give him what he calls a bit of a honeymoon if he wins the December polls. He says the economy is broke and labor unions must hold on to their demands for better working conditions if indeed he wins the 2024 elections and goes about attempting to fix the economy. Speaking at a Campus Connect event at Hohoe as part of the Building Ghana tour, the NDC flag bearer admitted he has been measured in his promises this time round because of the economic challenges. He lays out his case.
But let me beforehand tell you that our country's economic situation is in a very dire state. The MPP has brought Ghana's economy to the lowest ebb that has ever been seen in our history. We are broke. We are indebted. There's hardship in the land. There's no money in the system. People do not have disposable incomes. Pensioners' monies have been taken. Bondholders' monies have been taken. And so it's created a very critical situation for us. And therefore, we are very measured in the promises that we make, because we know that we're going to come and inherit a very difficult situation. And so we would urge that when we come into office, you understand the mess that we have inherited. We have the men and women who can work to turn it around. But we will all have to understand the situation and be patient as government works to put the economy back on its feet. And so while you are making demands, if government comes, help us with this, help us with that, yes, we will. But initially, the first thing we have to do is to bring the economy back to life. And I know that as soon as we come, one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to hold a national conference, a national economic dialogue. And we're going to bring all stakeholders together. We'll open the books for you to see the mess that the NPP has left for all of us and what we have to do to be able to bring it back. My brothers and sisters, when NDC was leaving office, the total public debt was 120 billion cedis. Total, from Kufuor's time, Atta Mills, Rawlings' time, Nkrumah's time, we owed only 120 billion. Today we owe almost 600 billion. I just want you to understand the situation in which we are. In 2016, when I was leaving office, 7th January 2017, when I was leaving office, if we took all the money Ghana owed, and all of us Ghanaians, we agreed that let's share the debt, and everybody should go his way. We'll all take our portmanteaus and go. We'll share the debt, and we'll pay, and then we'll go our way. all of us would have paid about 4,000 cedis. Everybody, including a newborn baby, 4,000 cedis. Today, if we decide to share that 600 billion amongst 30 million people, all of us, even including a newborn baby, will pay almost 20,000 cedis. That's how much you owe. 20,000 cedis is what you will be required to pay. And so you can understand the extent to which the economy has been destroyed. But like I said, NDC has the men and women to be able to bring it back to life.
Well, my colleague Nana Juma is traveling with him and joins me right now. Nana Juma, we just had him there lay out the economic condition he is expecting to confront in 2025 if he wins. However, he's isolating a few labor unions and cautioning them about what they can demand if he wins.
Exactly, Evans. He specifically mentioned labor unions on the teacher front, that is UTAG, POTAG, and other labor unions. This is because already he had some of these labor unions had the opportunity to speak at the event. That was before the former president or the flag bearer of the NDC took over the microphone to address them, and they spoke about conditions that will make them able to discharge their duties. So after that, that was when the former president spoke, and they rather spoke about some of these concerns, that is some of the money and others that they will need to be able to work well. And already we know that they are on the discussion table with government to get government heed to these concerns. So that is why the former president specifically asked them to give him what he terms an honeymoon if he is able to win power. Let's listen to what he said at Hohoi.
And I'll plead with the teachers' unions, NATS and NAGRAT and UTAG and TEWU and all of them. And all of you are clamoring for allowances, increase in your allowances and so on and so forth. Let me caution you that in 2025, inshallah, after we take over, we will show you the books and the finances of this country. And you realize the harm that the MPP administration has done to Ghana's economy. This country is broke. And so we would beg you that when we come into office, give us a bit of a honeymoon. Let's put things in place so that we can bring the economy back on its feet. And when we have done that, we can accede to your demands again. And that's why I'm being very measured in the promises that I make, because we all know the crisis in which this country has been plunged.
Nana, so some of these unions were there when they had him say this.
Exactly. But looking at the faces of the people who represented these unions, it looks like they were not too happy about what he said. But there are others who think that what he is saying is right, because per the indicators that he had put up, it looks like the country is not in a good shape to heed to the demands of these labor groups. So the people were divided over the time or the honeymoon he asked for if he should be able to assume power in 2025.
Nana, thank you very much. And Nana has been traveling with the former president on this tour. I want to bring in Felix Kwachifosu, who speaks for the former president's office. He joins us on the telephone line right now. Felix, thanks for your time here on Top Story.
Yeah, Evans, nice to be here.
He wants to be president. He's been president before. I mean, he knows that this is a pretty difficult position to hold. The kitchen is almost always very hot. Why is he asking for a bit of a honeymoon? If the kitchen is too hot, why does he want to go back in there?
Well, that is the whole reason why you need an experienced hand, someone who is familiar with the terrain and will hit the ground running and know what to do the very day that he gets into office. Also, we live in times where, because of the deliberate falsehoods and outright lies that the likes of Bawumia and Nana Akufo-Addo and the MPP told the electorate, which they have failed woefully to uphold in office. It has created a bit of skepticism and doubt about the sincerity of politicians who seek the mandate of the people. So the times call for utmost candor, sincerity, and honesty about the true state of affairs and what can practically be done in